Hey guys, this is Sarah Spencer and I'm with the Ryan Spencer team at Coldwell Banker One. Welcome to our virtual Buying in the Bayou class. It's for first-time home buyers in the Baton Rouge area, actually the Southeast Louisiana area. And I hope that this is helpful for you guys. We usually meet up once every few months at Lighthouse Coffee, but considering all the coronavirus mess that's going on, we decided that we wanted to put on a little virtual class for you to help you through this process to kind of understand how the home buying process works and what the market's looking like. So I wanted to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm Sarah Spencer, if you don't know me, and I'm from Baton Rouge. I've grown up going to high school here, went to LSU, moved to Chicago for a couple of years, and then ended up missing home and wanted to come back to Baton Rouge to be near my family. So I lived in Chicago for 2.5 years, and after I came back, Ryan asked, Sarah, would you consider working in real estate with me? And I said, of course, I would love to work with my favorite brother, but don't tell my other brothers that I said that. But anyways, now it comes. I've been working with Ryan for the last 1.5 years, working with first-time home buyers in this area, and I absolutely love it. It's been a joy, and that's why I'm here, because I want you to know more about the process and how the workflow goes. So anyways, we're going to get started. I love Baton Rouge. I think that a lot of people kind of question whether they should rent or buy. So why should I consider home ownership? A lot of people ask me this question because a lot of my friends, family, they ask, Sarah, why should I buy a house rather than rent? Everyone rents in Baton Rouge. So I tell them, you know, instead of paying off your landlord's house, why don't you pay off your own and build equity? It's a great investment, and there's so many good areas in the Baton Rouge area and even outside of Baton Rouge that are a good investment to buy in. Also, like, you can take pride in home ownership. Paint the walls whatever color you want. Make a room just for your plants. Make a room just for your kids, whatever you want. Also, there's a tax benefit. Come April 15th of next year, you can get a tax return of your mortgage interest. So that's a huge blessing. And then you wonder what the Baton Rouge market's like. The Baton Rouge market, so there's a few different neighborhoods that have always been hot, like Mid-City, South Downs area, Kenilworth area. So these are areas in the city that houses are selling. You also wonder about like new construction. What's new construction like? Alvarez Builders, they're a great company to work with. There's also DSLD, there's DR Horton, and we have good relationships being in real estate. Ryan, my brother, being in real estate for 15 years, has built great relationships to kind of know who would be a good contractor to build with and who would probably stay away from. So these are things that we can consult you in. It's also, the market right now, because of coronavirus, is a little bit slow, considering the fact that the economy is looking a little differently. So what we say, or what we're saying to buyers is, hey, if you have a job that is secure and you've been saving money to buy a house, the interest rate right now is really great. So we would encourage you to honestly get a realtor, myself or my brother, and have them go show you houses in a sanitary setting, obviously, or you can even have us go and do a virtual showing for you. We'd be happy to do that. We don't want you to lose out on a great opportunity to buy a house in your budget with the interest rate where it's at. So just know, hey, like, I'm ready to buy a house. I know that I have a down payment that I want to start purchasing with, and I'm ready to go. But I don't really want to get out of the house because of Corona. Just know that you have 2 realtors here that are able and willing and would love to serve you in a way to go and look at these houses for you and do a virtual showing if you'd like to do that. Also, let's say you're wondering, okay, what's it like to talk to a lender? How do I get the money process going? We have so many good lenders in this area that we would love to get you in contact with. So if you want to know that process, that's the first thing that we need to do. We need to get you connected with a lender in the area. So like I said, we have great relationships with a couple in town, so we'll get you connected with them, and they can tell you the process of closing costs and also what your mortgage will be like if you're pre-approved. They have this rule saying no before you go. That means knowing that you can actually afford to buy a house before you go look. Otherwise, it's just a waste of your time. So they're very helpful in telling you, okay, based on the information that you've given me on your salary and all your credit information, this is about what you can afford. So then you would come back and say, hey, Sarah, I've been pre-approved. This is what my lender's saying that I can afford. And then we can go together and put a meeting of the minds and kind of decide which neighborhood you want to look in and like bedroom size, anything like that, to kind of know what your budget is, and we'd be happy to help you. So what does an agent do exactly? What does a real estate agent do for you whenever you're buying or selling? So that's something that Ryan and I both work with buyers and sellers, and we start at the beginning from, okay, let's sift through all these properties that are available to the offer, to the inspection on the home, all the way to closing. And that's something that we're kind of right beside you in and helping make sure that the communication goes through and everything goes smoothly. And that's something that we have a joy in working with you, working towards and buying your house and closing. Also, there's something that's called the law of agency, which is basically the agent's fiduciary responsibility to a client, and that's just a relationship of trust. So you're trusting me to help find you the best possible house in your price range and the best possible neighborhood that is within your means and the one that you decide to be in and grow your family and just start your life in, which is really exciting. Also, the agent is free for you on the buyer's end. So if you're buying a house, you don't have to pay an agent. Now, let's say that you put an offer in on a house that's for sale by owner. That's something that we can kind of negotiate with the seller on them paying for that fee for the real estate fee or for the realtor fee. But if the house is listed, you don't have to pay for a buyer's agent. That's something that's included with the price of the house and everything like that. So why should you work with a realtor? So something that we offer is access to this multiple listing service. It's the MLS, which is a bank of all the homes online that only realtors have access to. So anything that's listed automatically and is on the market, we get an email about. So if we have something called a safe search set up for you with houses that are only 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this price range, that's something that could be sent to you automatically. That's catered to you specifically. Also, we have access to off-market properties. So we have such awesome long-term relationships with other realtors that Ryan has done business with the last 15 years. And so we kind of know like what's going to be popping up on the market fairly quickly just because of those great relationships with realtors. We are going to be there for you and supporting you, with one of the biggest investments of your life. And that's really exciting for us in a way that we can serve you in the best way. Also, we're going to be professional negotiators. We're going to fight for you to get the best price on a house, and also like trying to get closing costs and trying also during the inspection period. There's also negotiations that go into that, and that's just something that we're going to be for you with and trying to get you the best deal possible and a fair price. So that's something that you definitely should work with a realtor, in our opinion, just because it's something that we can offer you the best service because we're one of the best teams in the city of Baton Rouge. So how does the search process work? First, we start by you going to your lender and you get pre-approval. And you call Sarah or Ryan and you say, hey guys, I got pre-approved. What do we need to do? So that's whenever you and I meet and we do an initial consultation. That's where I'll ask you, okay, how many bedrooms do you want? How many bathrooms do you want? Do you want to live in this part of town or that part of town? And you kind of tell me, okay, Sarah, these are my non-negotiables. This is what I cannot live without in a home. So we'll sift through houses that are on the MLS, which is what I talked about earlier, and we'll sift through, let's say I find some houses that are for sale by owner, we can sift through those. Or on Redfin, Zillow, I'm sure that you're always, if you're looking for a house, you're probably always on Zillow. Like white on rice, I'm sure that you are. And then also we schedule private showings. So as soon as you tell me, hey Sarah, I really like this house, you'll text me the address and say, I really want to go see that house, Sarah. And that's whenever you and I can set up a showing and I can bring you and show you the house. And from there you can kind of tell me what you're thinking. Hey, I think these rooms are a little too small. The yard in the back is too big. I don't really know if I want to maintain that. So showings are really where you can kind of get an idea of what you want in a home. Usually we say it takes about 12 houses to know what you want whenever you buy a house. Some people look at more than that. Some people can know like after 3 houses that they go see and they're like, oh, that's the one and I don't want to see any others. But yeah, usually the average is about 12 houses. But after that, we can also like go see open houses. That's something that we can do together. And then obviously like after open houses and going to see houses and showings, you'll eventually end up picking the one, and then after that we will celebrate. So you're ready to make an offer. Yes, you're ready to make an offer. You have found a house after looking at showings and going to open houses, and what Ryan and I will do from there is we will make a comparative market analysis to kind of guide you to tell you what homes have sold for in the last 6 months in that area that are similar to the home that you're looking at buying. From there you will put an offer in, and it's very normal to have counter offers in that negotiating process. But once the offer is accepted, we'll go ahead and get you to sign the contract electronically, and then we'll send the pre-approval letter over to the seller's agent, and they can decide whether they want to accept from there. So what happens after the offer is accepted and we have a deal? So we hire an inspector. We have an awesome one in the area. And he charges about $400, and that's whenever you'll take about 2 hours out of your day, and our office will schedule that for you, and either Ryan or I will be there with you through the whole process. And the inspector will tell you, okay, this is all my findings in the house, and these are what I recommend the seller to go ahead and fix before you move in. And from there, we'll do another round of negotiations for asking the seller to fix certain items. That's not a promise that they will, but it's definitely something normal for us to ask and see what we can get from the seller, so you don't have to fix as much whenever you buy the home. And that's something that we want to work with you in. Also, we work a lot with the lenders that are going to be working on your loan, so we are in communication with them through the whole process. And then again, we have awesome lenders in the area. So if you don't know of anyone, or you don't know who you would call to know if you could be pre-approved, we have contacts. So please ask any questions or ask who you need to talk to, and we'll be glad to give you information for them. Then we'll have the final walkthrough after the inspection's been done, and if the seller's agreed to fixing certain things or we're moving forward, we have the final walkthrough about 5 days before closing to make sure that there's no holes punched in the wall and nothing like that, no damage to the paint, just to make sure everything's all good to go before you go in. And then we have closing, which is always a fun time. Sometimes the title attorneys have cookies for you, but it's always just a really fun celebrating time together, and it just brings us a lot of joy to know that we've helped you through the process. So I hope that you've taken at least a little bit of piece of information from this and have learned from it. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. Our Instagram account is called The Ryan Spencer Team. We also have a Facebook. Any question. No question is dumb, so please reach out to us if you need anything at all. We'd be happy to serve you. And please stay healthy during this time. I know it's been a bit crazy. The extrovert inside of me is dying a little bit. I keep telling people. But yeah, it was so great to chat with you today, and y'all have a good one. Take care.